Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning into this episode of That's Our Take. We have a little bit of a different setup here today. Temporary, maybe. See how much work he wants to put in on it. Uh, just due to circumstances. It is April 14th, 2019, and there's a blizzard outside. So, due to that, this is what we're doing. So,
Coming to you live from the Speedway bathroom.
This episode is going to be about the lottery a little bit. What would you do if you won the lottery? What would you do?
Cash money. I would probably buy a plot of land. I would get just enough land to be able to do anything I want on there.
Mhm.
I would want to get an ATV for some trailing, fort building. I'm gonna cut down trees and build forts.
Yes.
I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, so I feel confident in myself. Let's see. I know we talked about this before a little bit, and there was discussion of making investments. If we wanted to invest in
Oh, right.
businesses, local businesses, kind of become our own Shark Tank.
Our own Shark Tank. Yeah. Yeah.
Not to be confused with Shark Week, which just as awesome.
Or a tank of sharks.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about that a little bit about just wanting to invest in local businesses in the town that we grew up in and stuff like that, and let other younger entrepreneur wannabes, you know, I would want to help develop an educational system about how to go about starting a business that isn't some asshole in a $1 million mansion walking out in front of his two Bugattis and is just like, I bet you're wondering how I have all of this wonderful stuff and why my wife is better looking than yours.
You think I'm a failure because I go home to Starlight every night?
But I do see those videos on
Yeah.
YouTube about the guys who are just 5 easy steps, but you have to pay $100 per step in order to really understand and unlock your own potential. Click to subscribe now.
But once you reach the diamond level, that's, you get 10 people under you with 5 people under them.
So in Wisconsin, specifically, because that's where we live, and this is the information that I pulled up. Your state may differ in a lot of ways. But since 1988, the Wisconsin Lottery has generated $14.5 billion of revenue that stays within the state, and then they use it for the fiscal mismanagement that they're known for. In 2018, that's what these numbers are from. Let's see, there was $8.2 billion in prizes paid. So you pay $2 now since 2012. As the price went up from $1 to $2. And you pay $2 basically to enter for one lottery ticket. $20, you get 10 lottery, stuff like that. So all that money that's made, 56.8% of that money goes back to the winner of the Powerball, basically. So the
44% stays within the state?
yes, basically. 30% of it goes to property tax credit. So if you're a Wisconsin homeowner, then you get credits on your property taxes every year.
Okay, which pays for like schools and
Your property
roads,
taxes,
probably, I assume, local
pays
and
for all
state.
that shit. All the stuff that your taxes go to. Sewer, garbage, schools, roads, like you
Kinda
said,
collective.
police, fire, stuff like that. The retailers get paid 6.3% of all of that, and then operational costs. So it costs almost $1 billion a year to operate the Wisconsin Lottery.
Wait, I think it's from its inception through fiscal year at the bottom.
What?
Figures are from the inception through fiscal year 2018.
You're right. So it's not $1 billion a year. In total, it's costed almost $1 billion to run the lottery since 1988.
Wow. I mean, it's on one hand, it's good for the economy because those are guaranteed jobs and salaries and benefits.
Right.
But on the other hand, wouldn't that $1 billion be better off in our pockets in some sense? I mean, we would still spend it somewhere, right? So it's going to stimulate the economy somehow. And then,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Over $1 billion just to put on a TV camera and shoot some numbers through a spinny thing, and
Right, right. Well, there's probably a lot of accounting that goes on.
that's true.
You know, for every $2 you spend, $1 goes to the winner, and the other dollar gets split up between the property tax credits and the retailer and the operational expenses and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Why is it that gambling is illegal, but the lottery is completely fine? Like the state is like, oh, you can't do that unless we do it. But still, then you can't do it.
Right. So the main difference between illegal gambling and legal gambling is it's monitored by the government, inspection agencies. So the reason the lottery is legal is because they're audited. Essentially.
Sure. Something interesting I had heard and watched a YouTube video on is there were some people who were doing some research on lottery winners in like the past 20 years. And
Sure.
they found that like over 70 or 80% of the winners were all connected to each other somehow. Just like McDonald's had that scandal with the Monopoly pieces where
Right.
people were like, oh, we're just going to grab the pieces. There were some sort of conspiracy going on that people within this one group of people were all winning the lottery. So they're like, what is going on here? You can find it on YouTube. I can't remember the channel, but I'm sure we'll pull something up.
If I do find it, there will be a link in the description. If there's no link in the description, I did not find it, and Chris is full of shit. Moving on. So that's a little bit of the history of the Wisconsin lottery. Isn't as nearly as fascinating, but it started in 1988, or 30 years ago, with pull tabs and instant game match threes, kind of scratch offs and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it started with, and the Powerball was introduced in 1992. So that's pretty tight. That's a multi-state game. I think that's a different state, the Powerball. I don't know if it's national, but
Not national, but there are quite a few states who participate.
sure.
I think I heard like there was like a Georgia or a Carolina in there, and
Okay.
I know Illinois, maybe Iowa, Ohio.
Yeah. Largest Powerball jackpot to date was 111 million. But I don't think that's accurate. I think the
That has
most
to be
recent one was bigger.
That has to, I wonder if they adjust that for inflation. I wonder if that's 111 million of real people dollars, where like now if you get 400 million in a payout, what does it buy you?
A lot, though.
It does, but maybe not in comparison to the 111 million.
In 1993, $111 million probably would have bought more than $400 million now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I
but-
could see that being
Yeah,
sort of true. Sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you like send kids to school and shit, and there's a lot of that money that went up. Was it 4,400%? Some crazy like that. Tuition fees.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to cover college tuition in a different episode. We got that planned and in the works, and that's going to be in a studio room. With some upgrades to the sound and quality and audio and all that shit coming soon, thankfully. So that'll be in either the next video or the one after that. So we will see. Largest win Wisconsin jackpot Powerball 208,600,000 on August 5th, 2006. God damn. God damn.
Wow.
And what is the jackpot Powerball jackpot tax rate? 24% federal taxes.
That's like being a corporation. 24% of your income goes right to federal, and that's just federal. What about state? That's probably taxed at personal gains.
Yeah, this is from CNBC.com.
And there are some benefits to either taking the lump sum payout and paying all those taxes on it right away, or
Sure.
taking the, I think it's a 20 or 30-year payout. They have some different options for that.
So the state taxes depending on where you live and where the ticket was purchased.
Okay,
So I don't know if there's a set number.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you do with 111 million or even 400 million?
Oh my God, dude. There was a time in my life where I'm like, what would I do if I had $11? Seriously, it wasn't that long ago either. But with that type of money, I don't know, that's a lot of money.
You could do anything in the world. I mean, you can buy a yacht if you want to.
Right.
You could buy a place that makes yachts.
That would be like a smarter investment. Not buying a yacht. I don't think I would buy, and I think I mentioned this. I wouldn't buy the luxurious lifestyle. I would buy luxurious experiences
Right.
for myself, my friends, my family. So like all 6 people would be coming along on I'd buy a week cruise rather than buy a yacht. Maybe a smaller private cruise, something like that.
Sure.
Maybe not the giant Disney boats or something that terrify me just to look at them. But maybe just, buy a week on a smaller yacht,
Sure.
more intimate kind of feeling. Place with a fire pit or some shit on it. You can be in the middle of the ocean with a fire. How cool would that be? There's got to be a way to do it.
You got to go all the way to the middle of the ocean. I'm going to have a bonfire out here.
That's what I'm saying.
The things you can't do in water, you're like, I could do this on land. No, forget it.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the ocean. I want to do it here right now. Basketball, okay?
Yeah, why not?
Get an inflatable court.
Ooh, swimming in Olympic-sized swimming pool because the water isn't good enough for you?
Yeah,
When
just
you're
bleach and chlorine the shit out of this little, 20 by 20 foot square in the ocean. There you go, that's me.
What if you, is it all the people on the big Disney yacht that freaks you out? What if you could rent out the entire Disney yacht? So 6 people at any time, you can go to the big dining hall. You have all those chefs on
Right.
staff, go swimming. I mean, you have all the water slides to yourself. You go see a show, a movie theater. They have a lot of things on
They
those
do
cruise
have a
ships.
lot of things on the cruise ships. I feel like that would be the entire $400 million. I mean, how much are they making off of one cruise line? If the tickets for the lower level class, like underneath the people shoveling coal, which is probably how they do it nowadays, but Titanic style, underneath where the Irish people are having their fun little dance, underneath that, where you're banging on the ceiling telling them to shut up while they're stomping and spinning. Oh, Jack, I'll never let go. And then you're just like, I'm
Bullshit.
trying to sleep.
Where the less desirables hang out.
The
The peasant working class.
Right, the fourth class people down there who bought their tickets, Waterman card games and shit like that. I don't know. That's a lot of money. That's such a big thing too. The boat itself scares me.
Right.
Like, oh my god, I'll watch videos of giant ships and waves and storms and stuff just to give me anxiety in case I'm feeling happy with myself or anything. I'm just like, no, I need to freak out about something now. I'll go on YouTube and I'll look up that shit. Oh, it's terrifying.
So if you could create a charity, would you make one your own? Would you donate to something that you believe in?
I would probably start either a foundation or find one that's very localized and very small and passionate people about a thing. Probably fund those kind of things. There's those couples that like mountain biking and rock climbing and they always want to go to Africa for a month to help out some shit, dig a well or something. That's the type of those people I would fund. And like there's a lot of church groups that do that. Like all over the country, there's people that want to either bring people from those impoverished nations over here for a little bit. Nebraska has a big community of people from Africa. I don't remember where, but churches go and they bring them here. But there's separate issues with that because then they kind of bring them here and say, good luck.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay.
Yeah. You're helping someone fulfill that experience that they want to help people. And I feel like there's less logistics to it. You're paying for 2 plane tickets. You're not paying for the administrative fees of like a big website and everything that's involved with a bigger organization.
Right. Find people that already have that invested because that shows that they're passionate about it. So if they have a website and they have the thing, they're just looking the crowdfunding. I'd probably do that. I'd probably do. There's a guy. His name is YouTube or whatever. His name is Mr. Beast.
Okay.
And he goes into these. He'll go into like Twitch streamers that have 0 views, but they're just playing their game, trying it out and shit. Streaming. He'll donate $100,000 to them.
Wow.
$10,000. He'll have things like how many people can fit in a Prius. The last person in gets to keep it, kind of thing. So that's the first. That sucks if you're the first person in and get piled on because then you're eliminated. So, but like shit like that. Like I don't know where he gets this money, but he just gives it to people. And I feel like I would probably. I'd be bored one day. I'd go on Twitch. I'd be looking at the people. Oh, this is cool. Ain't nobody watching you.
Yeah.
Here's $50,000.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Whose life can I change in just a small way?
Shit like that. And again, I wouldn't invest or want the luxurious lifestyle. It would just be the experiences, travel the world, spend a week here, but then come back to modesty. That's going to keep you grounded.
Yeah, absolutely. and you don't want to get everything too quickly. If you splurge and like, I'm going to get everything I want in a year time frame, what are you going to do for the next 50 years?
Right.
You know, how do you get that enjoyment throughout your life? You know, you have to kind of sparse it out a little bit.
Yeah, you got to spread it out. You got to... Fucking shirt.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. You got to spread it out. Spread out the time. Spread out the money, the wealth. Spread the wealth. You know what I mean? As much as you can with the people that have made an impact on your life. In smart ways, I feel, is the most important. Not just buy everybody you know a car.
Right.
Shit like that.
Yeah. Kind of want some parameters around it. Like, hey, you can't spend it on this, or, you know, we want a certain portion to go towards an investment for future.
Maybe it would just be like that. Like, I would make an
Yeah.
investment and make you the owner of it kind of thing. Shit like that. That way, you know, maybe in 10, 15 years, when you got a small kid or something, it's growing up, boom, you'll get this payout. Shit like that. You know, that'd probably do a lot of things like that. But with that type of money, though, it's just, like, stupid to think about.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
$100 million is a lot of money.
Absolutely. Especially if you were to put it into like a high interest savings account, just compound interest alone, you were going to make a lot of money just to live off of.
That's the point.
Like, you're basically making like $20,000 a month just off your interest. So if you can live on that, you and your family and generations after you will never go broke. That's the thing about, you know, the generational wealth.
Yeah, it really would. Oh, that's just brilliant right there. That's all you need to do with it. You just live off the interest, and then the money lasts until you die, and then the next one comes along, gets it, and spread it out, and blah, 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 and shit like that. What's the one thing that you just know you'd have to do if you had that kind of money?
I would like to think I would want to do it all. The experiences thing is a really good idea, because you don't want to immerse yourself in that lifestyle too often. Like you said, you have to come back to modesty a little bit. You know, I saw a meme going around about, you know, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and another famous billionaire out on the street, no jewelry, just normal clothes, t-shirts, sweatpants, looking like they're going to Walmart. You know,
right?
And I think people need to recognize that just because you have money doesn't mean you need to spend it, and that's one way that a lot of rich people stay rich. They don't spend it; they save it. You know,
Right.
they're modest. You know.
Yeah, they probably live off the interest of their investments and stuff with all their money, and they don't even see their paychecks. You know, they just get paid from the bank once a week or once a month or something like that.
Right.
That's all you got to do. So if you ever win the lottery, just do that.
I don't know. I think it would be really cool to get an even bigger plot of land where all my friends could come live there, put a tiny house there, do whatever they want, like rent-free area. This is all yours.
Yeah, we talked about that once. I think
Yeah.
about building our own subdivision kind of thing.
Right.
Or just your friends, their houses, their big plot of land, their lives totally separate, but you all have that sense of community.
Right.
And stuff like that. But then you just got to all say, okay, this is where I want to live kind of thing.
Right, exactly. You can buy little plots everywhere, but you lose that community aspect. But hey, free rent, free place to stay. I think that's...
People that live in those giant mansions generally have 1 million people living with them, you know, if not just to help pay the rent or, you know, just shit like that. Just to fill it up.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just living in a big empty house. So, that's basically our summed up take of what the lottery is started, at least here in Wisconsin. The point of it is for, some people call it the stupid tax, as Chris said. You know, you put this money in, hopefully to win something out, but they do use the money within the state to help fund things and stuff like that. I feel like I wish that more was done with it.
Yeah.
More was done with it, that it was maybe split up a little bit more locally, like counties or something, and then that money gets reinvested in the county itself, the infrastructure, rather than just property tax credits. Because, I mean, I own a house now, so eventually I'll benefit from that next year. But I just feel like with that amount of money, it could be probably used a little bit better.
Absolutely.
And then the people that win the money generally go broke within a year. I think that's the statistic of it. You win the lottery, you don't really stay rich because you don't do what you just said. Put all your money in investing and then live off the interest.
Yep.
Which is just so smart. I mean, who can't live off of $20,000 a month? Who can't do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crackheads, meth heads.
But even then, I mean, meth ain't that expensive, you
No.
know, unless you're buying it in. Let us know in the comments what you would like to do if you won the lottery, just so that we can hear your thoughts and crap about that. Like this video if you're interested in things like this video, and subscribe to the channel. Smash the subscribe button. It turns out it works better if you just softly click the red subscribe button down there. It doesn't cost you a damn thing. Hit the little bell notification so that you get notificated when a new video is posted.
I'm gonna start my own charity, Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good.
Yeah, there you go. Charity, personal things. Let us know down below what you would do if you had won the lottery. Say, we'll keep it. What would you do with $100 million? What would you really do with $100 million? You heard what I did. You heard a little bit what Chris would do. What would you do? Tell us in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to the channel to get more crap just like this. Or maybe a little different. Probably a little different after this video.
Finger gun.